Hey, my name is Michael Vaughan, and I'm here with Keith Hansen of Seriously Strong Training. Seriously Strong Training is a personal training gym located in Tallahassee, Florida. And why don't you tell us a little bit about what it is and what made you start the gym?
All right, Mike. So Seriously Strong Training, we are a personal training company in Tallahassee. What we focus on is teaching strength training. And our specialty is teaching strength training to beginners. So it's not that everyone that comes in here is deadlifting a car. Most people just want to be able to, pick their kid up or carry the groceries inside or whatever it is. Like I said, our specialty is beginners, but we definitely teach training to all levels.
Great. Now, did you go into it knowing that you wanted to specifically work with beginners, or did that just naturally occur through the clientele that found you?
No, I'd say that I got into it. So like I'm certified through the National Strength Conditioning Association. So like their big thing is working with athletes. So when I got certified and when I was studying to be certified, I was like, man, I can't wait to work with athletes one day. I was an athlete, it's gonna be so awesome. But what I realized is that there's really not that much value you deliver to an athlete, because most athletes are very physically capable and they just need to be told what to do, when to do it, how hard to do it, and how long to do it. And the people that really need help, the people that really can use our services, are people that don't know how to move their body well, that don't know how to sit down, that don't know how to stand this up, don't know how to pick things up correctly, or do it safely, or have back pain, shoulder pain, knee pain. So those are people that we actually deliver real value to.
Now, when you were first starting, how much time, money, and energy did you put into your business plan and kind of the model that you wanted to use?
So being an entrepreneur is interesting because I went to school at Florida State for general management, business management.
Okay.
And I think a lot of what at least that program is structured around is teaching you how to be a manager in a corporation, something that's maybe a larger entity.
Absolutely.
Whereas, our business is very small. Technically there are 0 employees, right? But we work with our trainers, and so our opening was really, I like to say, organic. It wasn't this SST is nothing and now SST is a thing and we have a place and we have all these things going on. It was something that really took place over 3 years, from kind of like conception, where I was like, okay, that'd be a cool name for a business, to the time where just earlier this year we actually opened our physical location. Up until this point, for the last 3 years, we had rented space from other gyms. So just like a barber would rent a chair in a barber shop, right, we paid rent to other gyms to operate my business out of their gym. But the whole plan the entire time has always been to get into our own physical location. So building up, equipment that we have over time has been something that's been critical to what we do. Anytime I find gym equipment, is really easy to find because everyone buys it and doesn't use it, so it's easy to get secondhand.
Right.
So I've bought a ton of that over the years. Just if I needed it, I would bring it to the gym I was working at and use it. If I couldn't use it right then, I would just put it in storage. So when came time to actually open this place, it probably cost us about $15,000 to actually open once the time came, because we had so much stuff already purchased and just waiting to be used. So the process, like I said, it was it took a few years to get here, but when I first left the big gym I was training at, I had a small client base, and I left and I was like, okay, great, now I'm a trainer, now I'm working for myself, now I'm my own business. Yeah. And I quickly realized that you're gonna have attrition, which is where your clients fall off. It's just gonna happen. People get sick, people move away,
graduate college,
right, especially in this town. So I realized, okay, wow, what am I gonna do, because I'm losing people, So I realized, okay, I've got to get on the marketing side of things. I have to create a brand. I have to have a brand identity. I have to create a website that's worth a damn.
Absolutely.
So I spent a lot of time building a brand, creating a logo, and a professional looking logo. I think that's huge. and the majority of our traffic comes through our website. So I spend so much time working on our online presence that the traditional marketing is changing, traditional advertising is changing.
Absolutely, social media and all those things now.
So it's, instead of, I think up until the 2000s, up until maybe even the 2010s, it was always so much be in your face about, hey, here's a billboard, here's a commercial on TV, here is a magazine. But now you have ad blockers. Now you have people watching less TV because they're watching Netflix.
Right.
So the marketing now is not. It's what they call, instead of outbound. Outbound is what old marketing is, which is billboard, in your face.
Yep.
New marketing is called inbound. So this is just being there when people are looking for you. So when you type in, why does my back hurt? We pop up with an article that says, hey, 6 strength training moves to help with your low back pain. And you're like, oh, wow, this strength training company is in town. Maybe I should go check them out.
Absolutely. Now, and also, that's where you get into things like search engine optimization and different things like that to make sure that when somebody searches you in an area, you pop up instead of, Gold's Gym or things like that. Did you have to put a lot of time into getting yourself on the front?
Yeah, a lot of time. So I think I launched my original website using Wix, which is a content management system. It's a really easy website design program because everything is like click and drag and drop. And I think I first opened that late 2014, and it was crap.
Right.
It was crap, because I didn't have any web design experience, right? I didn't know anything about SEO. Didn't know what SEO was, and so I had that website from 2014 through most of 2000. No, I think I started at the beginning of 2014. Went through 2014 with it. At the beginning of 2015, I relaunched my website and started putting a lot more effort into it. So I spent at the beginning of 2015, we were on like the 14th page of Personal Trainer Tallahassee.
Okay.
Which no one's ever going to find you there.
Absolutely.
Think about the last time you would be on the first page to search for something, right?
Never.
Right.
Never,
It used to be like that, but now if it's on the first page, you did a bad search, right? So I spent 2015 learning about SEO and optimizing our website for the search engines, and then by the probably middle to late end of 2015, we had moved up to the first page of Google, and then our online web traffic, people that were calling us through the website, really started to explode. And in 2016, this year, I've spent a lot more time learning more about that. I switched over from Wix to WordPress recently because Wix will kind of limit you. It's very easy to use, but ultimately you're going to be limited in what you can accomplish SEO-wise or just overall design-wise.
Absolutely.
And WordPress is great. 25% of the websites in the world are being run off of WordPress. So that is awesome. But what's happening is I'm really not in training much anymore. My role in the business is changing because now, I started out as a trainer, and then I, continue on as a trainer and start doing more business side of things. But now I maybe train 15 hours a week, where I used to always be 40 to 50, because now I'm spending 60 hours a week working on our website and SEO and learning these things and reading it. And so as an entrepreneur, your hat is constantly changing, and you're getting all these more responsibilities.
Yeah, that's something we talk about in class and different things. And something I really love about it is that, you get the opportunity to learn so many different things, and it's not like you have a choice. Most of the time when you're starting your own company from scratch, you have to learn everything because you don't have the capital, or most likely don't have the capital, to go out and hire a web designer and hire an accountant right away. So you got to keep your own books and things like that and learn how to do that. So I think it's such a great experience and an opportunity to get to do those things and fun.
Yeah, it's. That's the thing is I saw this yesterday. I think it's kind of a common saying, but it's entrepreneurs are the only people that will work 80 hours to avoid working 40 hours. And I'll tell you, it is so true. But it's 80 hours that I love because it's all things I would be doing anyways. I'm nerding out on photography, and I'm nerding out on website design and SEO. And when we opened this place, we did all the renovations ourselves. So all the painting we did, the flooring we did, the appliances installs that we did, the floor, the rubber flooring in the gym, we did that. We put all the equipment together. We, you know,
I know you just installed turf.
we just installed turf, right? So it's like I'm constantly learning how to do new things, which is great because it's knowledge that never leaves you.
Absolutely. Now, from a financial perspective, I know you built up over about 3 years. Did you like how are you able to roll money over to keep expanding? Like, have you been able to successfully save money for the next project and the next thing that you need to move into?
So there's like a tipping point, I think. You know, like when I first started, I was psyched the first month that we had $3,000 in revenue. I was like, holy crap, this is nuts. And then I realized that I spent all of the money.
Right.
And the next month, I was like, oh my God, $3,500 in revenue. And then I spent it all. And, you know, as time goes on, like, you know, but it's good because if you're not reinvesting that money back into the business, you're not going to grow. You know, if you just suck it all into your pocket and it's fun money, your business isn't going to grow. But as time has gone on, our revenues have increased. The percentage of, you know, is allocated towards rent, and the percentage that's allocated towards labor, and the percentage that's allocated towards marketing. You know, the percentage of the whole total budget kind of they change around. And so this year, at the beginning of the year, when our online presence really established itself, is when we first started generating enough revenue to put money aside. So like I said, you know, the goal had always been to open a gym, but it didn't become a reality until the beginning of this year when I was like, okay, wow, we have actually a few grand to put aside each month, you know. And then so throughout the beginning of this year, you know, up until June, we were able to save money, everyone save money, still purchasing equipment, still, you know, paying our marketing stuff. And then by July, the right location opened up and we had enough money saved up that we could open.
That's awesome. Now, do you have plans in the future to take it to new locations?
Yes, absolutely. That's always been the plan. You know, it's establishing our procedures, you know, how we do things, what our standards are. I've always kind of viewed Tallahassee as a starter town. This is like, to me, this is a low risk. This is something you and I have talked about before.
Absolutely.
This is like a low risk, lower reward type city. There's not a lot of money here, but there's not a lot of money to lose either. So
yeah, lower cost of living. I mean,
yes.
You know, you have friends and family that you went to school with here, or different social situations and connections.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it from a risk standpoint, this is a great place to start.
Right, and that's why I actually started here, because I had connections from college. I knew people in the industry. So like I said, the plan here is to get our procedures down, to get our standards down, to figure out how we treat things and how we operate in certain situations. What our real service is, what our real product is, because it's something I'm still figuring out. You know, it's like, okay, like personal training is you know, personal training. Everyone has this idea of what it is, and we're trying to change what people's perception of it is. And, you know, instead of it being someone that you go to and they just leave you sweaty and you know, panting and you know, sore the next day, we're trying to view it as actually training. You know, I'm training you to do these things so that when you're done here, you can do it on your own.
Right. No, absolutely. And I mean, from a personal standpoint, I'm legally blind, and when I started training here, I felt like family. I came in, and I mean, everyone here just makes me feel really great, and I think that's part of the experience. And like, one of the reasons that you have over 100 like 5-star reviews on Google, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I mean, and it shows, and it makes sense. Like, you create a feeling in people that are working with you that's extraordinary. And I mean,
right, because, you know, like I said, we were trying to figure out what our product is, what our service is. I mean, our product is people, right? Our service is, you know, connections with people, and really that's every industry, right? It's all about how you make people feel. Do they feel good about what your relationship with them, what you're doing for them, and and the reviews definitely reflect that. When it's like, hey, you know, will you write a review for us? It's always, yes, absolutely, I'd love to do that because you guys are awesome.
So I know we're kind of running out of time, but I wanted to give you an opportunity to kind of conclude things, and if you have any remarks about just starting your own business for students and how that's made you feel personally, what do you think?
I would say it's choose something that you're so cliche to say, but something that you're passionate about. I mean, and it's really just, you know, you're only gonna be paid a lot of money to do something that people value. No one's gonna pay you to do a bad job of something. So you know that those things that you don't mind spending the extra time reading about and studying about and talking about, and the stuff that kind of like you know, you obsess over a little bit, that's probably a good thing for you to pursue, you know, to start a career in. And you know, also realizing that, you know, every day, like, I mean, like I tell the trainers that work for me, I'm like, hey, you know, this is my first time doing this stuff. I don't know how to do this, you know, so just work with me. I'm going to make mistakes. We're going to figure this stuff out. And so I have a great team. And what's important, you know, is that we communicate, you know, that you're always communicating well with people. You know, if you don't know how something's going to go, tell them, you know, just be upfront and keep your lines of communication open. Never leave it to guesswork.
Absolutely. No, I think that's some really great advice, because all too often, I mean, you'll see people going after dollars, and they're worried like, oh, well, I'll make $1 million in oil if I do that. But if like you said, if you don't absolutely love something that you're doing, it's gonna be hard to get people to pay you to do that. Or
you're not gonna put the 80 hours in.
Right. Absolutely.
And you know, the 40 hours is gonna feel like 80.
Absolutely.
Right.
Well, Keith, thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you, Mike.
And I hope you have an excellent day.
Yeah, man. Thank you.